In your opinion, is the current situation on academic campuses a continuation of the influence of the Frankfurt School or a perversion of it?
A continuation. I mean, the Frankfurt School, for people who don't know anything about Frankfurt School philosophy, is a group of philosophers in the 1920s in Germany who were expatriates. They moved to the United States and basically infiltrated American universities with an ideology that suggested, they realized, the Frankfurt School, they realized that Marxism, when Karl Marx wrote Das Kapital, what he was trying to do was describe how he thought society was going to work. It was actually descriptive, not necessarily proscriptive. It was, here's what's going to happen. He thought class warfare would eventually break out and destroy the capitalist infrastructure. When that didn't happen, World War I basically dissuaded the international left of this because there was no class uprising to start World War I. It turned out that poor French people were happy to fight poor German people, and all of them were happy to fight poor Russian people. So when that fell apart, what the Frankfurt School decided is, in order to make this change happen, we can't just wait for this change to happen, we have to change the culture. And the Frankfurt School basically decided to change the culture from the roots out. And in the 60s, what they discovered is that instead of using class, which is difficult, it's difficult to get a poor white guy to sympathize with a poor black guy, instead what they would use as a proxy is racial groups. They would use racial groups to tear down the United States and the capitalist system, suggesting that racial groups are the victims of capitalism. If we can just pose a racial group against a racial group, then that, and mix in a little bit of socialism in there, we'll end up with a more civilized world. Right? And the Soviet Union actually pushed this message in the 60s when it would put out propaganda about how the United States was racist, right? Not how the United States was rich and poor. They didn't talk about income inequality. They talked about how the U.S. was racist and the Soviet Union was a wonderful place for people of all races, when in reality it was just a crap hole for people of all races. Yes, the Frankfurt School, which was led by people like Herbert Marcuse, it was very influential. I don't believe the full-scale conspiracy theory that everybody was taken over by them, but I think that influential thinkers do have influence beyond just the people who read their books. I mean, there's a wave that moves out. And in academia, there's no question that people who don't even know they've been influenced by Frankfurt School ideas have been influenced by Frankfurt School ideas. Just as if you ask most Democrats, you know, do you like Karl Marx, most of them will say no, even though they're buying directly into his philosophy.